So far, we're actually about to step into the month of July. So far, 2026 is not disappointing, okay? There was very high expectations at the beginning of the year. I remember at the top of January, everybody was talking, hey, is 2026 going to be the new 2016? So the expectations were very high. But I have to say this, 2026 is definitely showing out and it's living up to its expectations. The music is good. I feel like music is getting musically competitive again. And I find that exciting. Everybody's discussing like what is the best album of the year. I have to be with LeBron James on this. I gotta say that J. Cole's album, The Fall Off, is the best album of the year. But I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Let's go ahead and get into some more music. And this is that J. Cole Life Sentence.
Realest shit I wrote, I'm doing life.
Tracy, because yeah, you guys always have really important things to say. But first off, I want to give a shout out to J. Cole and The Fall Off for being the best album of the year. Okay, I gotta go ahead and put it out there. I saw LeBron recently said that it's like number one in his playlist, so I'm very happy to see that. Cause yes, yes, I really do feel like The Fall Off is the best album of the year. And J. Cole's been pretty quiet, but I know he's about to go on tour. But my guess is that song Life Sentence is gonna move up the charts because it's a pretty good song. Um, so it's echoing. Wait, the TikTok. Hold on, the TikTok is echoing. Echoing for real? Yes. Let me see. We're gonna play that "Do It Like You" while I fix this audio on here. And I'm gonna answer your question. Is it echoing now?
All I wanna do when I'm thinking about you
Still?
is put you in the S550 G Wag, Mac Black, how you riding that coupe? I done been around the world, and girl, I swear, don't do it like you. Don't do it like you, don't do it like you.
Still echoing?
Don't do it like you. Don't do it like you, don't do it like Grease. Ice cold, I can put you on freeze. Girl, you bad, you don't even gotta tease. She a bob, so she listen to the sleeves. But she a brat, cause she put it on me. I like it. She ride, she bike it. She vibe, I night it. Her eyes, I light it. Can you just
Let me write
ride
that
on
question out.
it? Get it wet, sip, slide on it. I know you can catch a vibe on it. Baby girl, take your time on it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My heart cold, baby, can you throw it out for me? Out your back, baby, throw it out for me. I got racks, ain't throwing it for free. I got racks, ain't throwing it for free. All I wanna do when I'm thinking about you is put you in the S550 G Wag, Mac Black, how you riding that coupe? I done been around the world, and girl, I swear, don't do it like you. Don't do it like you, don't do it like you. Don't do it like you, don't do it like you, don't do it like. All I wanna do when I'm thinking about you is put you in the S550 G Wag, Mac Black, how you riding that coupe? I done been around the world, and girl, I swear, don't do it like you. Don't do it like you, don't do it like you. Don't do it like you, don't do it like you, don't do it like you. Young, you sexy, you smart, you ready. Oh nigga, gon' hate me, but I don't care about none of them broke niggas anyway. I'm here, I'm ready, I'm holding, you steady. These rumors, hoes hating, but you don't care about none of them broke bitches anyway. Baby, hit the gas, right on the interstate. Ever been high, I could take it to another place. I could be a big shot, make it 2088. I'ma do my big one, make you wanna levitate. 55th floor, baby girl.
Relationships, and many more. So we actually had to Ask Tracy question from the TikTok before my TikTok messed up. So the question is, why do mothers, ask Tracy, why do mothers treat their daughters bad, like they treat them poorly or be jealous of them? Why do mothers treat their daughters bad? My idea of why mothers treat, first off, like any of their children bad is because they didn't want them. They wanted the man. This is always what I believed. I feel like when mothers treat their children bad, it's because they didn't really want the child. They really wanted the man. And a lot of I found that a lot of women Have kids, to make the man happy or to stay with the man. And, they're so focused on that. Like they kind of completely ignore that there's like a whole life that they need to love and cherish. Personally, me, I'm a mother too. I don't ever see how any mother could dislike or treat their daughters bad. I have a daughter. She's actually walking in right now. Hey, shy. And she walk away. But come, girl, just come on. Here, come here. It don't have to be like this. It don't have to be like this. Come here. And then she runs away. And then she runs away. Um, but yeah, what was I saying? I think mothers treat their daughters bad, in ways, treating them poorly or being jealous of them. Also because that girl is a reflection of her and all the things that maybe she didn't do, all the things that she didn't accomplish. I've experienced seeing a mother jealous of their daughter once in real time, and it's the weirdest, most disgusting thing. Like, top three disgusting things I've ever witnessed in my life. And it's just like how? Like you would think, being a mother, you would be proud of how your daughter turned out. Um, but they be so jealous a lot of the times because one, I feel like they didn't really want the child, they really just wanted the man. Or two, they see that child and their reflection of everything that they weren't. I hear a lot of girls of their mothers being jealous of them because the girls are happy, maybe like whimsical, maybe goofy. A lot of these women, especially like coming up in like the 60s, 70s, the 80s, they're really dead ass serious. Laughing is not really a thing because they didn't think nothing is funny, or being goofy or being free is often, not wasn't a normal thing. So when they have a daughter that's free and happy and creative and exciting and fun, that really tugs at their envious strings because they're like, well, I had to suffer. Meanwhile, I gotta see this girl, live her best life. And like I said, that's just crazy to me because you should be happy. If you're a mother and your daughter turned out to be a way that you wish you could have been, that's not your time to be jealous. You should be very happy for that child. Um, yeah, like that's sick. I'm so glad you asked that question. Um, how do you say your name? Jazz? I'm so happy you asked that question because I feel so many ways, like when it comes to women. Of course, men too, but especially women, especially mothers. And that's just disgusting. Like, I don't know. It's just disgusting. Like, I feel like I kind of want to vomit right now just thinking about it. Like, how are you a mother and you are jealous of your daughter? Like, that person came from you. And anything that girl is, how could you be jealous of that? Because if she came from you, that means that's something that you could be if you wanted to. All you have to do is decide. And that's another thing too. That's a side note. A lot of people don't like when I say that. But I really do have a belief that all you have to do is decide the life that you want. If you want to be happy, wake up and go be happy. I hate that people stay in this anger, this just this guilt or whatever. You don't have to be like that. It's not a life sentence. You could, move forward. You could be the person that you want to be. But unfortunately, people are so stubborn and just so stuck in the past, or they think, oh, this is what I came from, so this is what I have to be. Hell no. Hey, are you doing music reviews? I could play your song if it's on Spotify. Hey, Vel. Jazz said because she had kids young, told her about it, and she was annoyed. She was like, are you sure? Love my mother dearly, but she always put on me I shouldn't have kids, but I had my daughter last year because she had kids young, told her about it, and she was annoyed. She was like, are you sure? I just have my little saying. If they're not God, then who cares about their belief? Do what makes you happy. If you feel like you're ready to be a mother, some people are ready to be mothers early. I wasn't ready to like 25. But I had my first child when I was 30. But that's not anybody's say. It's your body. You can do whatever you want. Just be responsible, of course. Damn, it's released. Unreleased. I was gonna send you the file. Email me the file to my TikTok name at gmail.com. Yeah. Uh, some women are ready to have kids. Now, I'm gonna say this, okay? Women having kids too early in their 20s, too early, like before 25. A lot of the times the situation ends out great. So can't really judge people. But I always do like preach that women enjoy their 20s as much as they can because something I found is a lot of cycles get repeated. Like you talk about that jealous cycle. A lot of like women that are jealous of their daughters, it's because when they were in their 20s, they didn't get to experience life because they quickly hopped into a marriage or quickly hopped into having a child. In your 20s, that's your time to really fuck up, okay? I hate to say F on the radio, but that's your time to really fuck up. Like, that's your time to do wild things, be crazy, party, shake your ass, dress, however you want to dress. Like, that's that time. Let it all out. Cause when you are able to experience that and step into the real world, you're not having that jealous or that guilty or that, that dark spirit. um you got to get all your youth out, all your happiness out, so by the time you do have kids, you're like, well, I already did it all. um People always tell me, like, as a mother, like, you're always with your kids. You always want to be with your kids. Yeah, I love my kids. They're my best friends. Because when I was in my 20s, I did everything. I was on the yachts. I was shaking my ass. I was being half naked. I was dating this person, this person, this type of person. So by the time I was already in my 30s and I had my kids, it's like I don't want to go outside. I don't even really want to do nothing because I already done did it all. And yeah, I'm not telling, women what to do with their bodies, but I do see why they tell women to wait a little later to have kids. You want to go ahead and let all of that youth out. Um so when you do become a your mother, you're not jealous. You see that child or you see that daughter and you're just like, "Hey, do your thing." And you're not thinking like, well, damn, I wish I would have done my thing. I wish I would have shook my little ass. I wish I would have, like, that's when the mothers become like really angry. So that's to answer your question for Ask Tracy. Thank you so much for asking that. So go ahead and get into another song, and then we're gonna come back and talk this housing crisis. Okay? Let's get into that Blanco by Wale.
Gotta free my mind.
Let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm asking the chat, okay? We're about to get into a topic that really, really grinds my gears. I'm talking about, like, I'm gonna throw my laptop at a wall just even thinking about it. So who in the chat is currently renting an apartment or a house? We have London currently in the TikTok chat saying that she is renting a house in Katy, Texas. Now I went ahead and gave her the round of applause for that. Because one, Katie is really nice, so I don't really think they really go through anything over there. But two, I feel like when you're renting a house, you don't have to deal with the bullshit that comes with renting an apartment. If you guys don't know by now, apartment costs remain a major concern in 2026 as renters continue to face high monthly payments, rising fees, and limited affordable options. While rent growth has slowed in some areas, many people still struggle to afford living alone. Whew. Leading more Americans to take on roommates, move back home, and relocate to cheaper cities. Questions surrounding housing continue to dominate conversations, including why are apartments still expensive? Is rent finally going down? Can Gen Z afford to live alone anymore? What hidden fees are apartment complexes charging? Are luxury apartments really worth it? How much income do you need to rent today? As housing costs remain high, many renters are asking one simple question: can the average person still afford an apartment in 2026? Listen, every single time I have gone through the renting process, it never fails. It doesn't matter how much money I make. Once I hear that three times the rent, I'm talking about I want to come through like guns blazing. Like, do you even times the rent? London said, I think more families should start investing in houses together, like siblings or extended family. Renting houses is top tier, it's less responsibility. See, that I agree with. I already figured that renting a house is way easier compared to renting an apartment. But these apartment complexes, they are the mob. In my opinion, they are like the mob, like the mafia. Like they slime you out. Like tell me in the chat if y'all ever been slimed out by your apartment complex. But London, sort of agree with what you're saying. With everything that's like raising and prices and rent prices, I feel like families should be working together and coming together to get a large home. But unfortunately that's not the case. Everybody wants to be alone. And then you also have everybody wants to kind of like one up the other person. And that's what I hate. That's a whole nother topic in itself. But I never really understood that. I was like, if you're a family and this family member is making $100,000 a year and this family member is making $100,000 a year, if y'all got a big ass house and just lived all together, you guys wouldn't have to stress about nothing really. Because you'll have, if a car breaks down, there'll be another car. If some person loses their job, there'll be another person that has a job. I just always kind of been confused on why we aren't like teamwork oriented. London said sometimes they know they want to prove you, but will make you pay an application fee. London, these renters are scammers. These renters are scammers. Like London said, sometimes they'll make you pay an application and they'll know that they won't approve you, but they just want the money. And the last apartment I stayed in Houston, there was always all of these fees. And I felt like I had to be a detective. Like, where are these fees coming from? But I say all this to say is renting is very difficult today. Like three times the rent is crazy. I'm talking about I think the last full-time job I had, I was making like $25 an hour and they were still giving me a hard time. I think that's 50K a year. They were still giving me a difficult time just to get a one bedroom apartment. They just make it so difficult. Credit could be good, rental history could be good, but if you're not making that three times the rent, minus the work wages getting taken out, then you're screwed. I don't really see how a lot of people are getting apartments. And most people I know, they work like for $18 an hour. That's typically what we see. And what are those people supposed to do? And you're kind of forcing people to like have to go move to the hood and stuff. It's like just not fair. I feel like if you have good credit and you have a job or you had a job for a certain amount of time, I feel like you should be able to get any house you want, apartment you want. London said Houston is all scammers. My next move is DC. I love DC. I'm from the DMV, hence my name, Tracy VA. I love DC. It's expensive, but the lifestyle is worth it. Um, can't really tell. Let me see your picture. Yes, yes, you are brown. Okay. Yeah, so especially us, young black people, dating is single and stuff. Like it's such a good place. And brunch is crazy. It's fun. I love DC. I highly recommend. But yeah, Houston was it for me. And lastly, I really do think they should do something about this rent. Like three times the rent, that needs to be thrown away. I don't even know who made that idea. And most importantly, these leasing agents. No, I feel like they should just all be sued. I don't even need no proof. I feel like every leasing agent out there, you should just go ahead and just be sued because I don't trust you. When somebody could be cool and be like, "Oh, I'm a leasing," I'll just be like, uh, you have to be a savage to work in leasing, like a savage. Like somebody can't, afford their rent for 1 month and then you gotta evict them and not even care. Like I will be crying if I was working in leasing. I'll be crying for everybody. Like no, like you need a home. But yeah, I can see why that's not for everybody. Leasing agents, Marine Corps. Let's put these two together. Like same personality, and they be living there for free. That's the scam of it all. Because they know that they could do whatever they want because they already live there for free. Yeah, you cannot pay me to be a. Ooh, how even better? She said job recruiters, leasing agents, army recruiters. We're gonna put y'all right here. Hey. But yes, something needs to be done about housing. I do believe that everybody deserves a home, a nice home. Um, Everybody deserves it, and I don't feel like it should be a luxury. I don't really know how people are affording apartments these days or affording rent. I don't know. I really don't know. Um, and also, why are apartments so expensive? I really don't even know. I can't even tell you. Like they just be painting the wood and making it white, and then all of a sudden it's $100,000 extra. Like I don't understand. Um, Also, I don't see rent going down. I think the average rent is $2,000 a month. I'm currently looking for a place in Chicago, and everything I'm seeing is like averaging $2,000 a month. I don't know how people are doing it when they're only making um $18 an hour. London said, "My dad just bought a house in the Philippines for 65K and he owns it." Well, shit. Uh, so, should we just all leave the US? Because I saw somebody yesterday talking about how they only pay $400 of rent in Japan. Like, I don't even know if that's real. But if it is, I think we all should just get ready to go ahead and move to Japan. Lastly, life is so stressful, but I'm not gonna lie. If we had free rent, that would be like a huge weight, I think, off of anybody's shoulders. And of course, Medicare, of course. We have to go outside and deal with a whole bunch of stuff. You could possibly just lose your life walking across the street. But if we got free rent, I think everything will be okay with me. How much worse could it get though? London said it. If it gets worse in America, I'm out. Can it get any more worse than this? I mean, okay. So yeah, that was that. We had some pretty cool topics on today's episode. But to go ahead and close this out, I want to ask, what do you guys think about today's renting market? Let me know what y'all think in the chat. There's so much surrounding apartments. Is it too expensive? How are people even affording it? But like I said, I feel like everybody deserves a home, and that's that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and head out. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Time at the same time. And once again, y'all, it was the Tracy VA show.